Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? This is Harrison Barron from Growth Generators. I have my buddy here, Adam. He is from PAX 8, and I'm currently speaking at a PAX 8 conference peer group. What would you call it?
It's peer groups, yeah.
Peer groups.
Yep.
That's cool. I get to share my knowledge of sales and marketing with them, and I think the people that are watching this, you're going to find some interesting key takeaways of this whole thing, because you'd be surprised how much people need help with. And Adam, introduce yourself. Take it away from here.
Yeah, so I'm Adam Hanneman. I've been here with PAX 8 for a couple of years, and I've been in the MSP space for the better part of a couple of decades. And I've kind of been there from the owner-operator, kind of figuring everything out by break fix and all those kinds of things. And I've kind of worked my way through a number of different MSPs over my tenure in the MSP space. And I just love helping MSPs get better. Right?
Sure.
That's my entire role here at PAX 8.
Sure. And a little backstory for you guys. So Adam jumped in, he saw the YouTube videos. Adam jumped into the Discord, and I said, hey, I really want to go speak in front of people. And then I was graciously invited to go speak at ScaleCon. And then Adam reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to speak in front of some peer groups? I think you could probably shed some light. And first, it's crazy, the power of the internet, which is truly incredible. And then and fast forward, now I'm here in Atlanta. So what are these guys all doing? And I guess tell people, because I think it's important for people to know that there's other support out there than just obviously the best YouTube channel.
Yeah, so there's a number of different ways to get help and support with your MSP, and I've always been a big proponent of peer groups. In fact, this week has become full circle for me. My very first peer group that I joined, I was a service manager at my former MSP, and I happened to meet two or three other gentlemen. Actually, met more than two or three, but I met two or three in particular that were key in the strength of our group, and we learned a ton from each other. And that group was probably one of the best groups I've ever seen. But that said, I've been able to actually kind of peel them away to become facilitators for our group. So,
that's cool.
So I brought all of the service managers that are here right now into a room, and we all sat down and we said, all right, let's talk about how service managers, we can work better with the owners of our companies and those kinds of things. We talked about all the different stuff. And so with peer groups as they are, it's really, really important that members come and they listen and they share and they help each other out. In all the rooms I've been in this week, it's been nonstop just help and support and love and just trying to help each other get better. And what you typically find is that one member has been through a thing that you haven't been through before. They've kind of figured something out, maybe even not fully figured out, but figured out a little bit. They're like 2 steps down the road further than you are.
Navigating.
Yeah, and you can kind of learn from that step, and you can kind of catch up to them, and you can then work with each other. We're talking about AI in the group that I'm in now, and we're going back and forth, and we're trying some of the stuff out while we're talking and doing some of the stuff. And all of a sudden, the whole group now knows more about AI and a couple different particular pieces about it, just because we start talking about it, right?
Sure.
And we bring in guest speakers and subject matter experts like you, and we say, hey, teach us about what you know. Teach us the goodness that's in your brain, and help us shortcut our way to the next step, right? And you come in and you sit down with the groups for 45 minutes, an hour, or whatever, and we talk about all the marketing stuff, all the great ideas that you've got, and the frankly simple ways that people can get better at their business, right?
I try to portray this on YouTube because it's funny, because I have some clients that are like, oh, you teach the basics. I need more than that. I'm like, if you go ask a power lifter, right, what the most important thing is, it's form. It's doing the basics very, very well. And then you could get into the crazy stuff and all that. But even today, one guy was like, should I, I'm talking about sales in this group, and he's like, should I talk about what if we want to give them a range? I'm like, it's called bracketing. I go, but that's good. Let's get the meeting first. Let's get the meeting. Let's have a great discovery day. Let's understand where they're coming from and all that kind of stuff. It is important, don't get me wrong. But if you're not even getting to the point where you're delivering the proposal, that's a more advanced step of setting expectations and things like that. It's really important to get those foundations and really, I mean, and you could feel free to disagree, but half of sales at least is confidence.
Yeah. It's confidence and having a process to follow. Because that's the thing that I see all the time is that someone goes, well, my sales stinks for whatever reason, right? And it doesn't really matter what the reason is. And I say, well, where are you having a problem? Like, well, I don't know, kind of here. I'm like, okay, well, where's the process to
Where
get to
is the-
wherever you are?
You should be able to tell me right where the problem is.
So we sit down, we like say, let's define your process. Okay, now where's the issue? Oh, it's right here. Okay, well then what happens right before that?
Sure.
Oh, and like you see the light bulb go off in their head, right?
That was the one thing I was shocked. And for people listening, like there's MSPs from like sub $1 million, you know, then there's I think one solo guy here, all the way up to, who's the biggest here?
15, 20 million.
15, 20 million. And it's so funny. And you would think that like the 15 to 20 millions have it just dialed in.
Nope.
And you'd be so surprised.
Not at all.
I was truly caught off guard because I've dealt with a lot of MSPs. How many of them are like, okay, well, what's the right sales process? I'm like, how'd you make all this money?
Right.
Without knowing the right sales process. So it is cool. But it's also refreshing for me hearing and getting a lot of validation that what I'm talking about is correct.
Well, and every size MSP has issues at their own growth stage, right? So what an issue is when you are one person is dramatically different than the issue when you're 20 million, and you may have issues with marketing or sales on both sides. It's just the issues will present differently, right?
Sure.
It's like the one person thing is just like define the process. On this side, it's like, well, how do I lead a sales team
Sure.
to do a thing? They're different scopes of issues, but
100%.
it's all about the change, right? When we were talking about the website stuff, it's like, you know, when you're brand new, diving in and spend tons and tons and tons and tons of time and effort, energy and money on your website,
Sure.
when you could go to a networking meeting and meet some people face to face, you may get better, quicker bang for your buck when you go meet people face to face. Yes, you should be doing this other stuff,
Sure.
but if you only spend time on your website when you're a solopreneur and you're just getting started, good luck getting leads for the first 6 to 9 to 12 to 15 months, right?
Sure, 100%. It is cool. It's very cool because you're 100% right. Everybody has different problems, and most of their problems somebody's probably already dealt with, or at least can get through that. So tell, I guess, the audience, the YouTube, however you want to address them, a little bit about you and how you ended up here, because I think you have a very interesting story.
Yeah. So when I worked with corporate IT when I was a kid, basically. I was 18 and I started working in corporate IT. I decided I was going to start my own thing. I started helping some people that were around me. I then developed it into a business. I wasn't actually all that great about running the business. Like I was a good tech, not great on the business side, right?
Sure.
I was bad at invoicing. I was pretty good at sales. The sales was the thing I could kind of figure out. But the invoicing and the kind of running the day-to-day business, it was not my strong suit. And so ultimately, I kind of failed at that business, which is fine because I learned a lot.
You learned. That's the best way to figure it out.
And then I got a different job and I moved around a little bit. But over the course of the next couple of jobs, I got into progressively kind of larger and more mature MSPs and learned a lot along the way. And when I got into the MSP that I worked at before coming to PAX 8, I spent all of my time trying to learn the business side, try to figure out those things, because it was my job to teach my teams to understand why they were doing the things that they were doing and why this was important and how things like gross margin mattered to them and why it should matter. And with all of that learning, put me in a really great spot to be able to step out of the role of being in the MSP to supporting the MSPs by my job here at PAX 8. So I get to do basically whatever I can do to help partners grow. That's like my entire job, which is super rewarding because I'm empowered to help MSPs in any way, shape, or form that I can, within some reasons. But for the most part, it's just go make the peer groups be better, be bigger, teach more people stuff, help them grow. When they grow, PAX 8 is benefited, and the members, of course, are benefited. And I get a ton of personal satisfaction from knowing that these companies are, in theory, in a better spot.
And they're growing.
You
get to see them grow.
Absolutely.
Maybe foreshadowing. Maybe one day we'll offer a peer group. So tell people a little bit about your YouTube channel, because you do something. I take care of the sales and marketing, and you do a lot of operations and structure of the business, which I find tremendously helpful.
Yeah, so when you were talking about the basic videos, I kind of doing the same thing, but more on a business focused side of the world, because for a couple things. One, I'm not that technical anymore. Yes, I could figure out technical stuff, but that's not where I love being. And two, not really in security. Those two things have plenty of experts out there. So my focus really is on building up the other areas of the business and really engaging kind of those business muscles, the stuff that I was bad at when I was trying to build my own thing back in the day, so that way I can help people move forward without having to learn the lessons the hard way, like we all have to learn the lessons if you haven't been there before. So so I start with the basic stuff, right? One of the videos I released was talking about basics about having a PSA and an RMM. Like which one of them was, if you're brand new, you maybe don't need a PSA on day one.
Sure.
Maybe you do, but maybe you don't. Like it's stuff like that where it's just trying to like kind of raise the tide for everybody, so that way everybody gets a little better.
Rising tide lifts all ships. Yep. I say that way too much, but it's true. Like there's so much opportunity, and that's like a shameless plug, but that's like why I built the Discord, right? It's a great first place for people to go and like. They have to pay to be a member of PAX 8. There's no, you have to pay to be a member of the internal, side of what we offer at MSP Heroes inside of Growth Generators. But the Discord is 100% free. Like,
right.
You jump in the Discord, you can ask questions, and sometimes somebody's going to refer you to your video, to my video. Sometimes they're going to be like, oh, I had this problem. This is how I solved it.
Yep.
Like, it's truly... it's a super active community of MSPs, which I'm unbelievably grateful for. But, not everyone's going to have every answer. I don't claim to know the technology at this point, really. I know what tools you need, and I know why you need them, and I can evaluate a good tool. But, like, as you get more into, like, the cybersecurity, aspect of it, you got to do your own homework on that one.
Right.
I teach you how to make money.
Yeah, exactly. And this community is exactly why your content and my content and peer groups and all those things work, because it really is a community, and it's a fantastic community to be a part of. And I'm just thankful that I get to be part of it every day. Right.
Sure.
That's honestly why I get up in the morning. And now that this event for us is kind of wrapping up today, I'm pretty excited to like go back and get ready for next year, because I got a lot of big ideas for next year within our peer groups.
It's cool. There's 150-ish people that have come through.
Yeah, yeah. Plus a handful of vendors, and and a couple SMEs, and like it's becoming a thing. And
it's a thing. It's truly like remarkable to see. And then like the coolest part, like today, for example, I had a group of people, and they're like, we really are struggling with sales. Like I really just don't know what to do. And then I gave them the sales process, right? And I have a ton of videos on that. You guys could do your own homework on those videos, and coming up with a pretty cool battle card for you guys.
Awesome.
That it won't be ready by the time this video is live, but in the future, if you watch this video in a couple weeks, there will be a link to grab one down below. But like they're like, I don't have the sales process. I'm like, we're gonna run through, copy this verbatim. This is exactly what you need. And they're like, oh my God, you could say that. I'm like, my goal here, and that's cool. The cool part about being a subject matter expert. I'm not here to pitch you. I'm not here to try to get you to join the membership, although the membership is worth its weight in gold. I just want to help you get over that hurdle. And then if I come back in a year and hopefully I get invited back, like I cannot wait to be like, I follow your stuff to a T, and it works like gangbusters.
Yep. And for as it relates to that, you'll be invited back for sure. So,
appreciate it.
But the other piece is it's all about making tomorrow better than today, right? Making today better than yesterday. It's just that incremental benefit and incremental growth makes everything better. It's going to help your business. It's going to help you in your personal life. It's going to help you with your spouse. Like all those things. If you can make today better than yesterday, then and you just do that over and over and over again, you're just going to get better, and everything and things are going to fall into place.
And I think the other thing too, and it's cool, is like, at least from what I've seen, like you can't get discouraged. And I think that's probably one of the best parts of like these peer groups, the Discord and things like that. Like things are never gonna go your own way, right? And you talk about doing bad things in business. My accountant yelled at me once and he was like, you suck at invoicing. You are not making the money you should be making. Too. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I gotta figure out a new business model that works much better. And that's why I went to the membership model of MSP Heroes. But it's just funny because like you're also not gonna be good at everything.
Right.
But you rely on your subject matter experts, my accountant and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap this thing up, because I know we got to get back to peer groups here, feel free to plug your channel. I want people to go check it out. I think it's tremendously, tremendously valuable.
So yeah, thanks. So my channel is actually called Ramblings of a Geek. The link is Adam-Rambles, because as you maybe have seen here, I have a meandering way of speaking sometimes. I fix it a little bit in post, but it's not always fixable.
He edits. I don't edit. We're just one shot. That's it. We're gonna run with it. Not every shot, but I will. It's easier for me to re-record than it is to edit.
Yeah, and I'm very much an edit guy, so it all works, right? But and I release videos about once a week, not 5 times a week. That is way more work than I'm able to do. And I definitely appreciate Harrison and your ability to kind of get that done, because holy cow. But I love doing the videos. I love getting comments. I love getting feedback. Would love to swipe some of your subscribers too.
Yeah. I will leave a link down for Adam's channel. I think it's really, really cool. He pops in the Discord, not as much as maybe I'd like him to, but feel free to reach out to him on YouTube and come hang out in the Discord. Like, honestly, if you're an MSP struggling, like, it is the best first step into the world of growing your MSP, truly. And I would probably be more hesitant to say that a year ago, but just the stories that I've heard, even for people that don't give me $1, they're just a part of it, and they're like, I have gotten so much value out of it. And some people here too, like, they subscribe, and it's like, they get my free stuff, and they're like, that's tremendously helpful.
Yep.
It's the coolest feeling in the world.
Yep.
So
absolutely. I'll spend some more time in your Discord, man.
You heard the man. Hold him accountable.
Yep.
But truly, thank you for having me, sir. It is truly appreciated. This has been an honor, and I'm happy that I'm close to home, and I'm excited to go see my family for 42 hours specifically. Not that I'm counting until I leave again for a little while, but. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I appreciate the heck out of every single one of you guys. If I got to speak to you and you are somebody watching this video after I've spoken to you, feel free to reach out, growth-generators.com. Hang out in the Discord, growth-generators.com/Discord, and then the resources/resources. And there's truly a ton of super helpful information in there to help you grow your MSP. And some people here literally had it, which is like blowing my mind. But love the heck out of every one of you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys.
Bye.